Another episode of Cryptid News Webcast. Today I'm only going to share some little bit of information with you. First, I want to make an announcement. I'm well aware that many of my YouTube viewers, they're not on other social media, such as Facebook, or maybe not even on Twitter. So I realize that there's people on my YouTube that love to watch, love to see what I find, and I'm going to start sharing that with you right here on YouTube. So I want you to stay tuned. But today we're going to continue our episodes and studies into our research. I'm only going to share a couple little small videos with you today, and these are from a couple of our known experts in the field of what they do, such as Mr. Jimmy Chilcutt. You're going to hear from Jimmy Chilcutt. And a lot of you are familiar with who Jimmy Chilcutt is. For those who do not know who he is, he's a retired FBI forensic analyst. You'll hear from him shortly, and he'll explain who he is and what he does in his field. And also, we're going to share a couple of photos, nothing major. This is going to be a short episode, a short little session here. So I want you to stay tuned, and maybe we'll get into a discussion. So let's see what happens. I want us to take a look at some dermal ridges, some foot tracks, and we're going to hear from Jimmy Chilcutt very shortly here, with the next few minutes or so. For those who are familiar, this is from one of the documentaries, and I think he speaks very clear with the details, and he shows some very clear, obvious patterns here. So with my earlier research videos that you guys have seen and observed, and for my explanations, I want you to hear from a real expert. I'm not an expert. I'm not an expert in this field whatsoever. But I think anybody who puts enough time into research and study for themselves could learn a lot of basic stuff. And that's what I do. And of course, you have others among you who, if you don't have a degree in something, they're not going to consider you knowledgeable whatsoever. So they're going to try to discredit you with any bit of information possible. I'm not an expert. I can't say that enough. But I have a passion for what I do here. I love what I do. I have an obligation. So I take the time to research and study for myself. Okay? And I gain a little bit of knowledge with some of these various fields. If I have a desire to want to learn about it, I have to research it. I have to learn and study. That includes reading books. Yes, I read books. I read and try to study the different terminology that relates to these subjects. That's what gives us knowledge and a better, clear understanding about what we're trying to explain. I may not be the best at explaining things. I know a lot of you listen to my videos. Now, it's easier. I could put it in typing and throw my explanations out a lot clearer in typing and writing than I can verbally. That's why I'm trying to use illustrations to explain what I'm trying to tell you and share with you. Okay? So, let's take a look into this next video here. Let's check out Mr. Jimmy Chilcutt. Stay tuned.
In human footprints, the ridges run horizontally across the width of the foot. On primates, the ridges run diagonally. On this casting, the ridges run vertically down the side of the foot. The ridges on this cast are about twice the thickness of a human print. Now, these casts were cast 20 years apart and hundreds of miles apart, yet they have the same ridge texture and ridge flow pattern.
All right, and as you just seen, you heard from a real expert in the forensic field. Like I said, I hope that helped you understand what I was coming out with in my comparisons, my illustrations, and the little bit of knowledge that I like to share with everybody. That's what I'm going to do here. That's what I do, and I'm going to continue to do so. If there's a subject you'd like to hear discussed, I want to hear from you. If I don't know it, I'll research people that do, and I'll research information and give you the best logical explanation of anything related to Bigfoot, because there's no facts involving Bigfoot. Okay, it's all speculation, but I will give you real facts related to what's compared to Bigfoot that we already know, that's acknowledging what exists. That's how we need to start approaching the field of cryptozoology. We need to look at the closest subject that relates to the topic that we research. And just then you might get a piece of knowledge that will help you discover something. Just maybe. God bless. Stay tuned for these commercials.